Most people think their cueing feels awkward because they're bad at teaching, but if you're training as a Pilates instructor or you're just newly qualified, the truth is your cueing just needs a bit more structure. I'm sharing this as it's been 10 months since I've completed my mat reformer and barrels Pilates teacher training, and my goal is to complete the full comprehensive exam next year. Cueing was one of the hardest parts for me at the beginning, but not because I didn't know anatomy, it was more because I didn't know how to organise what I was saying while teaching. So here's some tips on what I wish I learned earlier. First one, your cueing isn't confusing, it just needs a bit of structure. One of the biggest tips I had in training was to use the one breath, one movement rule. So you want to say inhale to prepare and exhale to move. It's a lot clearer and it gives the client something to do. Number 2 is to cue what you see, not just what you've planned in your notes earlier, but cue what's actually happening in front of you. If the ribs are flaring, then you want to cue to soften the front of the ribs. If the shoulders are creeping up, then you want to cue to melt the shoulders away from the ears. The bodies in front of us should always be a guide for what we cue. Number 3, try and keep your cueing short. This is one of the biggest lessons I had after teacher training because clients can't process 5 cues at once. Pick one alignment cue and then one imagery cue and then let the movement happen. Because sometimes over cueing can actually cause more tension than clarity. Number 4, try and use action words instead of corrections. So instead of saying don't arch your back, try and say draw your ribs down or lengthen through the spine. Because action-based cues gives the client something to do instead of something to avoid. Number 5, definitely be using imagery, so shining your chest forward, melting the ribs, growing taller through the crown of your head, and all these imagery visual cues always land faster than anatomy ever will. A small subtle tip is to say your instead of those, so your ribs and your shoulders, and that helps the cue feel more personal. Finally, make sure you cue the exhale because clients will hold their breath in a lot more than you think. The moment you do remind them, everything softens and movement moves smoother. These are some of the tools I'm refining now as I prepare for my exam, and they've completely changed how confident my teaching feels. I'm Natalie, and I make Pilates anatomy and cueing simple for future instructors. Follow for more.